So they need you to believe the lie. They desperately need you to. They desperately need you to, because that's how the wicked side is able to delay the inevitable. People probably don't realize that God actually says in the Bible, I'm going to show in a minute, that you can hasten his return. Since all these things are thus to be dissolved, what sort of people ought you to be in lives of holiness and godliness, waiting for and hastening the coming of the day of God? Hastening means you can rush it, or you can bring it quicker. But how do you do that? Be in lives of holiness and godliness. What would be one of the number one things that would need to be a representation of that you're not believing the lie anymore? So that's the reason why there's this effort whenever somebody comes out and says, I don't believe this relationship of Elon and Trump's, and I don't. And you may think, well, Trump's lying. No, Trump's being wise as a serpent, but innocent as a dove, because the people themselves have to get themselves there. Because what we do is we look at the leader and then we say, oh, I just believe whatever he says. He says he's with Elon, so I'm going to put my full support. Yet God says that's lazy. It's lazy. So if you want to hasten this being, and it's not being over, but this, justice being done, then you have to recognize why the media keeps doing this, why there's so many articles saying Elon Musk, these people are saying that they're not, buddies. And look, that's the same media that has been doing the bidding for the military-industrial complex, though, whether it's Fox or CNN, or any of them, really. So the number one thing you have to realize is that you know who Trump is, okay? Look at him as like a shepherd. Your job is to recognize when he's being wise as a serpent but innocent as a dove. It is. This is literally, first of all, this is why they want so much control that you don't have free will. And that's why there's been so many lies. That's why they keep you busy and they keep you stressed with so many different things. They do. Because they don't want you to realize that you actually, if the people would recognize, no, this is not, Trump's vision is not the same as Elon Musk's. So this is a show we're being shown right now, but it's not the truth. That's what would hasten justice. Would. Because otherwise people are just, you're believing you're saying, no, I'm believing what Trump's saying. Right, but what you need to do is there's no common sense in believing that Trump would be on board with Elon's vision. There's not after you spend 8 years talking about these globalists. There's no discernment there. Then this will only be for Christians. Obviously, there's a ton of people that are following that path. They too desperately need you to accept the lie that Trump fully supports Musk. And you may say, well, then he would tell us if he didn't. No, that God, this is how God does it. This is how God does it. Because God is forcing you to think, not because when you just believed before, you weren't using any thinking, and that's that ends up delaying it, and that's how they win. It's literally in the Bible. This is how they do it. Is they have to convince you of the lie. So if they can keep convincing you of this lie, and this one seems to be very important to them. This Elon and Musk thing seems to be hugely important to them, which shows they're desperate. They're scared. They are. They're scared. Otherwise, there's no reason to do this. There's no reason to say, oh, people want you separated and want you divorced. No, they're doing. Sean Hannity literally is serving the military-industrial complex. He is. But then he always has. I mean, again, lying media. He's been on there forever. But they're doing this because they realize there's people out there that aren't buying it. Even if Trump says it himself that nobody will separate them. Trump knows that the people that know don't believe it, and we're not going to. That's why there is more people on the other path. And that's why God said, make sure you go to the right gate. You get part of the trial, trial and tribulations is you're being tested. It's not that God is trying to do bad things to you, but he knows that you're living in this world under all this wickedness. And so, that's why, you have throughout your life a series of tests. This is one of them. This is one of them. Trump is not with Elon. He's not, because everything that Elon stands with is technocracy. Trump is not for that at all. It's all unbiblical, actually. That's the reason he wouldn't be for it. It's completely unbiblical. And I did just hear somebody say that he was working on trying to get nukes completely dismantled, but I don't know. I just had heard that in passing. So, all of this stuff, this military-industrial complex, it all serves that other side, because it keeps you stressed. We have nuclear weapons. We have to worry about China. We have to worry about this. They constantly want to keep you worried. They have to keep you believing the lie. I mean, they literally took, Tucker left Fox to then go to X, then create his show on there, and he's told you some truths, but you don't recognize that all that media, there's a reason that they promote Elon Musk more than they do Trump. You just probably don't pay attention to it. They do, though. And they need you to believe them, because they can't survive unless you believe them. They can't. That's always been the game. It's sort of like Wizard of Oz, the ending of Wizard of Oz, or when the good witch, Glenda, comes back. And she lets Dorothy know, no, you always had it in you. You always had the power to get home. You just had to believe it. So they need to get you to believe a lie instead of you seeing the truth, that there's no way Trump, there's no way common sense wise or discernment wise that Donald Trump would be on board with Elon Musk, because it goes against everything he stands for. Technocracy goes against everything, and that's what Elon's about. Again, if Elon wanted to show fruits that he wasn't about that anymore, he'd stop shadow banning on his platform, but he's not about free speech. I think it's in his DNA. But recognize that is literally how they have kept you from having a different world, really. Is because they get you. This is why they're doing this. There's absolutely no reason in that interview that Trump did with Hannity tonight, and Elon's there. There's absolutely no reason to even ask Trump this, except the media is scared. All these people that follow Cain, let's just say it, that's who they follow, Cain. They need you to believe the lie. Stop believing the lie, so that then you are living in lives of holiness and godliness. Holiness didn't mean, wear my fancy hats and look like the Pharisees or the popes. No, it meant I can see the truth. I can see this is a test in front of me. And that Trump is being wise as a serpent, but innocent as a dove, but that there's no way he would support the vision of Elon. That's if you want to hasten justice coming.